of all, let me get this let me get this perfectly clear. I do not own nor do I operate an unlicensed radio station. I make tapes and send my tapes out to stations all over the country. I know people that are fighting the FCC to gain the right to broadcast. I know people that are involved in the struggle of licensing micro-powered radio station, and to those people I use, or to those people I send my tapes to, in the hope that I will be able to break the blackout about what is happening to me and my family here in Decatur, Illinois. With that out of the way, let me just say that Napoleon Williams is calling for a boycott of the Martin Luther King March, as well as a boycott of the Martin Luther King banquet. Napoleon has called for a whole weekend of boycotts in anything that act like it pays tribute to Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. If you guys had looked in the newspaper on Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, on the top of A3, you would have saw Napoleon Williams and Mildred Jones, a couple who lives here in Decatur, Illinois, a couple that has been begging for over 7 years for someone to investigate the wrongful taking of their kids, a couple that is begging for help. And all these people who do all this planning and talking about how they idolize or how they look up to Martin Luther King or how they understand the sacrifices that Martin Luther King made, these people have not opened their mouths as to whether or not Mildred and Napoleon have been set upon by some racist to the core crackers who are using the judicial system to do anything that they want to Napoleon and Mildred. I want y'all to know why I chose Martin Luther King's things to protest. Martin Luther King, y'all, anybody that will bring you a program where you are supposed to give praise to Martin Luther King. Listen to me. Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. He didn't say if you see an injustice, leave it alone. He didn't say if you see people being done wrong, don't say nothing about it. Just go on have your parades. Go on have your dinners. Don't say nothing about injustice. Martin Luther King spoke out about injustice. Martin Luther King said injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So if Napoleon can show you that him, Mildred, and his kids are being treated unjustly or unjustly, then people who really respect the memory of Martin Luther King don't look at it, y'all, and act like it's not going on. They don't look at an injustice and say, let's forget the injustice and go on and have this march. So yes, Napoleon is calling for all out. Let me tell y'all something. I want to watch the TV and point out people and name their ass. I mean, call their name out. Yeah, I saw you at the march, and I find it mighty funny that I know you know of what me and Mildred are going through, but I have never saw you come to court. See, I'm going to spot the people that I know, y'all. You know, the ones that I know about what me and Mildred and our kids are going through. And I would like to say, if you care enough about Martin Luther King to get up and attend a march saying that you paying homage to Martin Luther King, then I would like to know why you refuse to get back into a struggle that Napoleon Williams and Mildred Jones and their kids are involved in, a struggle that I know damn well Martin Luther King would not stand around and not say injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
We shall overcome.
Yeah, I know something. A lot of people think that I'm wrong when I sit up and say, why would y'all go to the march? I mean, it's like I don't even get a chance to just ask people that's going, why, what you going for? I mean, Napoleon can show you, and it ain't just Napoleon. It's a lot of people, y'all. Decatur is an unhealthy town for black people, really. Ain't nobody going to admit it. And the reason people don't admit it, y'all, is because for some reason you have a whole lot of black people who want to act, y'all. They give the impressions that they are the movers and the groovers and all of this, and they ain't nothing. They can't do nothing. They ineffective and know it. But if it come down to planning a Martin Luther King dinner, they can do that. They don't have any problem whatsoever. They can get the place. They can get people to cater in the food. They can get all kind of stuff. But when it comes to fighting the type of shit for black people that Martin Luther King fought, they ain't got nothing to do with that. They'll be the first to tell you just can't do nothing. Now think about this. In planning a banquet, you got to get the place, you got to get tickets, you got to get the information, you got to do all of that. In fighting the things that Martin Luther King used to fight, all your ass got to do is show up. See, all people got to do is show up. All intelligent people have to do is show up. When I tell y'all that they taking my babies because people acting like me and Mildred ain't in the news. See, they treating me and Mildred anyway because they know that everybody is seeing us on the news. If y'all can see us on the news and read in the newspaper, and the newspaper is telling you for years Napoleon and Mildred has called for an investigation into the tape. How do y'all let these people speed us on through the process and we don't get no investigation? I mean, now they know how to get hotel rooms. They know how to plan the logistics as far as getting y'all to these separate parts. What are you marching for? I mean, I done listened to Reverend James T. Meeks for the last few days, y'all, just because I wanted to play something other than music, and I like listening to things like that. But he got one tape. Why are we still singing? Why we are stuck at the bottom? Okay, and he goes on to tell you why we are stuck at the bottom. He goes on to try to get you to ask yourself, if these type of things are happening to us, what the hell are we singing for? So you got Napoleon in Decatur, Illinois saying, I wish they can take my babies. Y'all will let people organize a march and get y'all to that march, and y'all will never ask the question, why ain't somebody marching against the wrongful taking of some of our kids? Why isn't anybody willing to look at 92 MR28 and move Napoleon out of the way as far as being the #1 spokesman for Mildred and her baby? Why do people act like they can't find out what happened to Mildred and her kids? That does not involve Napoleon, y'all. Why can't nobody figure out what is happening to Mildred and her children right now? Everybody focuses on Napoleon while never giving Napoleon his props. Evidently, there is something godlike about Napoleon, because Napoleon ain't failed. I mean, Napoleon can sit up and say on January the 14th, y'all, they thought this would be over. They thought that they would terminate our parental rights and our kids would be gone. Here me and Mildred ain't supposed to be a part of this game, but they thought it would be over. But now the only way that this thing has proceeded anyway is that they figured out a way to move Napoleon out of the way. You want to convince me that people that can get the Holiday Inn to hold a banquet can't understand what due process of law is and be shown when somebody is getting fucked over? See, I wouldn't know if you come got me say, Napoleon, we gonna hold a fundraiser, information rally for your kids out at the Holiday Inn. I wouldn't know a thing about getting the Holiday Inn. But I would immediately start the process of finding out how do you rent a room or how do you get to bed. You know, you might not know how to get to Holiday Inn this morning. But if somebody said they gonna throw something for you, or if somebody said, okay, we gonna throw this for Napoleon, I want you to find out how to get to Holiday, you would immediately start the process of finding out how you would get the room at the Holiday Inn. Here Napoleon is saying Mildred had some kids. All Napoleon is asking people to do is find out what happened and how her kids got taken. See, you got some people saying that we are in court now. Listen to me, y'all. Why would y'all sit up and say Napoleon is in court? When Napoleon can say white people are sitting up, people in that courtroom know the law. Now you got, for some reason, Napoleon Williams taken out of the picture on one certain day. On one certain day. And this is the day that they are supposed to present their evidence before a judge. And the judge takes Napoleon out the picture. See, sometimes I sit up and wonder, you mean to tell me Larry Fichter and Scott Reuter them don't worry about this being exposed? Why should they got to worry when they got a judge that can sit there and say, Napoleon, sit down, that is your lawyer. If you don't sit down, you going to jail. Yeah, they don't have this kind of goddamn power. That's not due process. That's somebody sitting their white ass there doing what black people allow them to do. We need to get this straight. See, I ain't bucking for no grant dollars. I don't give a fuck if white folks don't never help me. I want to tell the truth and get the truth straight. And then when you get real white people to stand up and help, then I want to be associated with them people. But see, I don't want to sit up and say I shouldn't call something racist that's clearly racist. And it's racist, black and white, because when you got black people know that they could use the court, like, you don't want to show your kids, look at what they doing. See, listen to me, y'all. You got Napoleon saying, I can defend myself. I'm waiting for my day in court. I have begged for my day in court, and on my day in court, a judge can order me taken to jail. And you think the prosecutors got to worry? Why should the prosecutors got to worry when they already know how they going to keep Napoleon from preventing his case against them? So Napoleon can't even come in the damn courtroom and sit down and have his day in court because they trying to sit somebody down in here to speak for Napoleon when Napoleon is saying, I'm good at speaking for my damn self. I represent myself. See, we talking about the taking of my babies. We talking about people going to find me unfit as a parent. We talking about having a hearing where you can question people. I would have tore their ass up, y'all. That's why they didn't have me in that courtroom. That's why they brought that lawyer. Now, I need y'all to understand that when real men and women sit around and act like they don't understand what these people are doing, they trying to take our babies, y'all. They trying to take our kids from us. And they trying to act like this shit is legal. How is it legal? Listen to me, all the news reports, y'all, I could bathe y'all. Let me just let y'all hear some of Brian Byers' show. Listen to this.
16 and 70 degrees here at News Talk 1340 WSOY. You're listening to Byers and Company. I'm Brian Byers, your host, and we're talking about more courtroom action yesterday in the Napoleon Williams case. Charges of conspiracy create chaos during child custody court proceedings. That's the...
Now, those charges of conspiracy were raised by Napoleon Williams. Napoleon saying, I can't get an outside judge, I can't get an outside lawyer, I can't get an outside prosecutor. How in the hell am I going to tell on y'all when y'all acting like y'all can call all the goddamn shots and y'all the people I'm trying to tell on? I'm trying to tell on the judge. I'm trying to tell on the prosecutor. I'm trying to tell on the public defender. They can sit here like they ain't did nothing. And I can't get a damn investigation. I can't show people that I'm telling the truth on them. And if I'm telling the truth on them, if I'm saying they have conspired to take my kid, why would people leave them sitting up there like I'm going to get due process of law or I'm going to get my rights respected before these people? Y'all, the shit that done went on in my kid's case, they took my day in court. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? The day that I was going to bury their ass, the day that the truth was going to come out, they took my day. They saying because Napoleon didn't sit down next to his lawyer, then Napoleon forfeited his right to be at the hearing, so he ordered the police to take me out. Listen to me, y'all. That was not the first time Napoleon started some shit about the public defender. Y'all go on and listen to this.
The Herald in Review today. After about an hour of chaos, which saw Macon County Circuit Judge John Davis ethics questioned and a party to the proceedings ordered to shut up, the child custody case involving Black Liberation Radio operator Napoleon Williams and his girlfriend Mildred Jones has been continued. The hearing was scheduled for Williams and Jones to argue their request for a public defender from outside Macon County.
Now, do y'all hear that? Brian is reading that out the paper. We done had a whole hearing about me demanding, and listen to me. Y'all listen to this good. Whatever my defense is, I plan to accuse the Macon County Public Defender, the Macon County State's Attorney. I ain't putting no names on them. I'm accusing the whole goddamn office. I don't know who name gonna come up in some wrongdoing when people start investigating and find out about this. But right now, if Napoleon had went to the hearing, it would have been on Napoleon's back to prove that there was a conspiracy. I would have proved it through their witnesses. See, you got some people saying we at the next phase. They saying, well, the judge is finna decide whether or not to adopt Napoleon and Mildred's kids out because Napoleon and Mildred ain't did what they wanted the court wanted them to do. Ain't it funny, the motherfucker, that I can blame the judge for taking me out of there and not letting me show him why I won't do what they telling me to do? See, you got a judge saying how the kids was taken is not an issue. Well, why I won't do what they tell me to do should be an issue. And if you removed me from the courtroom, if I got into an argument with you about a lawyer that was not my damn lawyer, if I could prove that was not my damn lawyer, then goddammit, I was right to argue with you. I wasn't supposed to let no hearing take place where you sitting up there saying show the parents is present with their attorney. That was not my attorney. And the only reason a problem was created was that the judge, y'all got to follow me on this. The only reason that a problem is created is that the judge don't want to admit that this ain't my damn attorney. He knows it like everybody. He knows it like the attorney knows it. He knows it. He knew it on that day like y'all know it right now. But the judge ordered Napoleon taken to jail and let the attorney sit there and represent Napoleon. They took my day in court. See, Napoleon come in the next time and say, look, Your Honor, this is not my lawyer. Your Honor say, okay, Mr. Madley, you're discharged for the case. Now, the first thing that come out of Napoleon's mouth, y'all, okay, Your Honor, I want my hearing now. No, we already had the hearing and evidence was presented. How in the hell was evidence presented, y'all, when the judge ordered me out of the courtroom and let a lawyer that he later on is admitting is not my lawyer represent? Who represented Napoleon? Who offered Napoleon's evidence in my kid's case? See, you got a cracker sitting up here acting like he ain't played no role in. You ordered me out of the court, sir, because I said a lawyer that I could approve that day. I made no contact with this lawyer. I did not want a public defender. As a matter of fact, there have been hearings in these proceedings where I have shown why I don't want a Macon County public defender. I'm accusing the Macon County Public Defender's office. Listen to me, y'all. Sometimes I be saying, where are grown people? Because I know some kids can understand this. You got Napoleon fighting for years for his kids. You got Napoleon saying, either way it go, I got my babies coming home. Now, if they take me to court or don't take me. See, if they take me to court, I'm going to show once and for all what they did. You got these people acting like they ain't worried. They ain't worried. If they are allowed to do shit like this here, then they don't have nothing to worry about. Which one of us they can't pick next? I mean, if you got Napoleon saying, okay, if they not fucking over me, go find out how I didn't have my day in court. See, go find out how the judge and the prosecutor them can be saying, well, we had that hearing and Napoleon had an opportunity to offer evidence. Napoleon got put in jail because Napoleon was telling the judge a lawyer that y'all brought there was not his damn lawyer. Now, if the judge is agreeing that that is not my lawyer, then how in the hell can we be at the next phase when you let a lawyer represent me that was not my lawyer at the most important damn hearing in my kid's case? I want my motherfucking hearing. Shit, I want my damn hearing. I didn't cause that lawyer to be sitting there. Listen to me, y'all. I done got other lawyers. They appointed Mildred a lawyer, and I got the lawyer took off the case. Mildred was in Dwight. They appointed Mildred Richard Hopkins without Mildred asking them to appoint her anybody. Y'all, Napoleon. Brian Byers was in the courtroom. Napoleon made them take their damn lawyer back and made them entertain the motion of appointing me an outside public defender. Brian Byers will tell y'all I pointed the finger at them right off. I intend to accuse y'all. I'm going to show. You know how you say, well, what is going to be your case? I'm going to show that y'all in a conspiracy to deprive me of my kids. Do you want a lawyer? Yes, one outside of Macon County. The reason I don't want a Macon County public defender is that that's like giving you, I'm accusing you and you make your brother my lawyer. I'm accusing the judge that's trying to appoint me. I keep on saying, y'all, they want to give me their lawyer. I don't need their goddamn lawyer. But at the hearing where I would have been able to lay my case down, at the hearing before the judge where I would have been able to cross-examine every witness that Scott Reuter them brought in that court, at a 3-hour hearing on this date for some reason, Napoleon is placed in jail for not sitting down next to... Napoleon did not want a motherfucking Macon County public defender, and I think over the months, Napoleon has made that very clear. Well, how in the hell did Napoleon get a Macon County public defender just for one damn day, just long enough to miss being able to cross-examine any other witnesses, to introduce? How did Napoleon get a Macon County public defender just for that? They just brought him in. Shit, they ain't paying my rights no motherfucking mind. They just brought him in. This they way out. We gonna bring him in when Napoleon argue about him. You put Napoleon in jail, okay? And they can come in there and act like they have in court. Let the record show the parents are here with their attorney. Y'all look, every motherfucker in that courtroom, every motherfucker in that courtroom knew goddamn well Greg Matley was not my attorney. Now, how did Napoleon get put in jail for trying to tell the judge, this ain't my attorney? I want to show y'all what I did to Richard Hopkins' ass when he got on the case.
Attorney Richard Hopkins was appointed in May to represent Jones while she was incarcerated at Dwight Correctional Center, but it was only at the end of Tuesday's hearing that the courter was restored to the courtroom. Jones argued that no lawyer should have been appointed to represent her, especially Hopkins, whom she and Williams are accusing of conspiring to permanently separate them from their children.
Now, if Hopkins, did y'all hear, let me let y'all hear that again. Listen to this again.
The courter was restored to the courtroom. Jones argued that no lawyer should have been appointed to represent her, especially Hopkins, whom she and Williams are accusing of conspiring to permanently separate them from their children.
Now, y'all listen to me. Hopkins is a Macon County public defender. We are accusing the Macon County public defenders of being involved in a conspiracy to permanently deprive us of our children. Who got Napoleon put in jail and kept Napoleon away from the hearing? A Macon County public defender. Sitting down, acting like ain't never, listen to me, y'all, ain't never said a goddamn thing to me, nothing. See, here it is, it's time for us to come to court. You got the judge come in, the prosecutor come in, and here come a Macon County public defender. I ain't said a damn thing about him being my lawyer. Listen to me, y'all, you can call. See, for those of y'all that wonder how people can put together Holiday Inn events, they can't call Greg Matley and find out if I'm telling the truth. You got Napoleon saying, I can show y'all where judges, prosecutors, and public defenders have been involved in listen to me, y'all. My baby been in foster care for over 7 years. My baby's on Ritalin now. Do y'all think these people want to admit that they was wrong in doing this? So as long as y'all sit back and act like you scared to call Greg Matley, this motherfucker comes in the courtroom, sit his stuff down, knowing I ain't never talked to him. I mean, like, I'm wondering what the hell he even doing here. He don't start the court proceedings off by telling the judge, it's going to be pretty hard for me to represent Napoleon, and I don't even know if he wants me as a lawyer. I haven't talked to him. He don't come in and say that. He comes in the courtroom acting like he's my lawyer. This man ain't my lawyer. Y'all ain't even bothered. This ooh. And people sit around, act like they can't call him and ask him, did you talk to Napoleon before you went in court acting like you was his lawyer? I mean, that ain't talking about the kids or nothing, y'all. That's talking about a person that I'm saying was involved. You You think I don't want to boycott the march? Why would y'all go march? If shit can happen like this here and you can't get no answers, if you would go all the way downtown to march and sing We Shall Overcome, and I can't get your ass to pick up the telephone to call a lawyer and ask him, say, before you went in the courtroom acting like you was representing Napoleon, had Napoleon talked to you? Now, if you find out that I didn't talk to him, that I didn't tell him I wanted him to represent him, you would find out that I'm the last person on the face of the earth ought to have been arguing about him being there. I ain't asked him to be there. I'm my own lawyer. Shit, I done represented myself throughout these proceedings. That's why I did not contact Greg Matley. If somebody asked me, okay, Napoleon, when the judge appointed Greg Matley to you, why didn't you contact him? I didn't give a fuck about the judge's appointment. I still represent myself. I ain't got to call Greg Matley and tell Greg Matley shit. The fact that I don't call Greg Matley should be enough evidence that I don't want him. Call him, damn it, and ask him, did I call him? So you got a public defender coming in the court acting like he my lawyer. When I get into the argument with the judge, this ain't my lawyer. I represent myself. Put him in jail. The only way I done got put in jail, y'all, is that the people who I'm accusing of wrongfully taking my kids in the first goddamn place pulled a hearing that led to me being placed in jail. Anybody can look at this right now and find out. You can call the man. See, you ain't got to just listen to Napoleon no more. You got Napoleon saying, let me show y'all how they set me up. They knew motherfucking well that I can listen to me. I can lay out my case, y'all. I got them caught dead to right anytime anybody want to look at it. See, you just got a situation where they are managing to manipulate the court system, and really, don't y'all think if I had shown people was sitting on the stand lying and they ain't charged? Look what they talk about Bill Clinton. They had a hearing, y'all, where I can actually show y'all where people forged documents. In my base, they broke the law. You think I don't want to question these people? You think I don't want to catch they stupid ass getting on the stand for Scott Reuter? Soon as they say, any questions, Mr. Williams, I'm going to listen to me. I beg y'all to let me curse now. Soon as they say any questions, Mr. Williams, I was going to tear their ass up. You talking about perjury and Bill Clinton. I was going to show y'all how people have come to court and lied on me and Mill, straight outright lied. They have forged documents in our kid's case. Now you got Napoleon saying, here it is, my big day in court, and the people that I'm talking about conspiring to keep my baby away from me can pull some shit like this and don't nobody see nothing suspicious about it. Here it is, Napoleon representing himself every other day of this hearing. But on the big day, on the day Napoleon finna bag up his mouth, on the day they'll get a chance to once and for all either let him prove it or shut him the hell up. Either way it go, it was supposed to be something other than Napoleon going to jail because a public defender acting like he represents. I shouldn't have went to jail, y'all. I should have been allowed to participate in that hearing. And if the judge know now that that argument was caused by a lawyer coming in there that didn't represent me, wouldn't it seem just natural that we would have that hearing back over? I mean, wouldn't it seem natural that if I explained to the judge, well, Your Honor, you misunderstood me. I never accepted the appointment of the public defender. That's what I was trying to tell you. He could go to saying anything that he want to say, y'all, but let me tell y'all something. Even Greg Matley stood up and told the man, I have not had any contact with him, Your Honor. Look like the judge, look, wouldn't you say, ain't something up with that? You got a man arguing with a judge saying, this is not my lawyer, and the lawyer stand up and say, I ain't talked to him. Okay, what more do I need to exercise my damn right? Matley cannot be my lawyer until I accept I have to accept the appointment of the public defender. Y'all, Napoleon didn't want no public defender from Macon County and wasn't going to have them. How in the hell in my children's case did I end up with a Macon County public defender at one hearing? If it ain't no goddamn conspiracy, then you ought to pray for answers today. I bet you God make you smarter for morning. See, if it ain't no conspiracy, you got the Macon County Public Defender's Office. I'm accusing them. You got the prosecutor sitting there. I'm accusing them. And you got the judge. Now, you got me in an argument about a Macon County Public Defender. I wasn't never supposed to have a Macon County Public Defender to argue about. I ain't never contacted a Macon County Public Defender and asked a Macon County Public Defender to represent me in Unique's or True's case. I don't need them, y'all. I didn't need them. They know I don't need them. You think Scott Reuter don't know I can lay my case out? You think Judge Payne don't know that I can lay my case out? Y'all, all I got to do is question the people in court involved about the case. I ain't trying to question them in front of Judge Payne. You have reporters. You have reporters sitting at our case, y'all. They will note down what these people are saying, and they going to tell you what these people are saying. So when they tell you what these people are saying, you're going to say, how in the hell can the judge even be thinking about keeping Napoleon kids now that we know what we know? So they can't let Napoleon cross-examine no witnesses. So now you got them bringing Greg Matley ass in long enough to put me in jail. Then now I'm back out of jail. I done got Greg Matley fired, but you got the judge saying that hearing that they had was all we gonna have. Oh, God. And y'all will go sing We Shall Overcome. Y'all will wonder why I tell y'all don't march. If y'all want to march, march to court with me and let them know how bad you hate shit like this being able to go on and people acting like they can't see it. You got Napoleon saying I got public defenders fired. Listen.
Filed to be present in court while incarcerated but was denied. But it was when Williams asked to file a motion to replace Davis as a judge in the case, accusing Davis, Hopkins, and Macon County Assistant State's Attorney Scott Reeder of conspiracy, that things got heated.
Now, y'all listen to me. I accused their ass way back then of being involved in a conspiracy. Now, I'm going to give y'all something. If they ain't wrongfully taking my babies, if they ain't fucking over me, if I accuse them way back in May, if I let it be known, I'm not going to be represented by no Macon County public defender no matter what. No matter what, y'all. I done made this known. This is news way back then. Why don't you want a Macon County? Because their ass is conspiring to keep my kids away from me. Now look at what happened to me. Look at what happened to me. And you got the Macon County public defender calls it with the judge, but you got the judge saying the reason I got taken out of the court was because I wouldn't stop arguing. You motherfucker, you trying to set a public defender down here that you know I don't want, and you saying that this public defender represents me. As a matter of fact, the judge put me in jail and let the public defender represent me. Even after the public defender told him I have not talked to Napoleon. I mean, like, why would you people sit up and say, if you can't understand this, you ain't gonna never overcome nothing? I feel sorry for you. I mean, if you can find your way to a march after hearing me on the radio today saying, y'all, look at what these people did. We talking about my kids. We talking about children gonna be told one day, you ain't never gonna see your mother no more. We gonna find a good home for you. Ain't nothing wrong with these kids' home, y'all. Won't nobody tell the truth about what done happened to these kids. Won't nobody open their eyes as to what Napoleon is telling you is happening up there in court. It would be different if I didn't have a way to tell y'all. But I could sit up here and make the tape, give Mildred the tape, give Ice the tape, man. Y'all just play the tape. I had a brother tell me, say, man, you don't think you be getting through to people, man, but you be teaching folks. I can't feel it. I mean, anytime I tell y'all, look, they can't have that hearing. So you got the judge now. No, we're not going to have the hearing because we already had the hearing. Hold up, Napoleon ain't had no damn hearing. You put Napoleon in jail for Napoleon arguing about a Macon County public defender. That's what's fucked up about all this. Napoleon crying way back when they started, I'm accusing the judge, the prosecutor, and the Macon County public defender. How in the hell did the Macon County public defender even play a role in me missing my hearing when I ain't contacted no public defender and told him to be there for me? I shouldn't have had to argue with no damn judge about this not being I ain't contacted no lawyer, y'all. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Ain't nowhere in the world I supposed to be in no goddamn, I ain't supposed to be in no judge's face trying to explain to the judge this ain't my lawyer. The lawyer ought to be telling the judge the man won't even talk to me, Your Honor. I don't know how I'm going to represent him. Does Mr. Williams want me to represent him? I mean, he hasn't contacted me. You can't find that being said by the lawyer. If it ain't a conspiracy, how in the hell a lawyer just going to walk in there and take over my representation? I mean, he just going to walk in. I can listen to me, y'all. Well, the judge can't appoint me a motherfucking thing. I have to accept the judge's appointment. I didn't accept no Macon County public defender. They know it. Now, if you don't believe me, then you ought to be trying to find out, well, how did Napoleon go in there on January 14th and fire Mr. Matterly's ass? He couldn't fire him on the 21st, the day that they was having the hearing. But now on the very next court date, Napoleon can go in court and fire Mr. Matterly. So that means Mr. Matterly was just Napoleon's lawyer long enough to get Napoleon fucked out of that hearing. That's hard to believe, y'all. I mean, like, anytime people are bold enough to do something like this and folks can't catch it, that means all of these people who I say are conspiring against me and my kids, all they got to do is contact one of their public defenders. Remember, I'm accusing the public defenders of being involved in it. I'm saying that's why they won't give me an outside public defender. You would think after some shit like this happening, you would think that somebody would be willing to appoint me an outside public defender. You got a public defender that showed up knowing he hadn't talked to me. I ain't told this man to represent me. I ain't told this man to do a damn thing in my name. I ain't talked to him. And before he can represent me in any way in my case, he would have to communicate with me, y'all. Wouldn't no lawyer just step up in there thinking he represents you when he know you done had the opportunity to call him? You would think the lawyer would even come in the damn room and say, Napoleon, why this motherfucker come in the room ain't said nothing to me. He knew wasn't no need in saying nothing to me. He wasn't my damn lawyer. I pointed at him, don't say nothing for me. You are not my lawyer. I did not contact you. Y'all, they act like Napoleon wrong. Napoleon the one crazy. Now Napoleon is back representing himself, but Napoleon can't get his hearing, y'all. They saying they had the hearing. They had the hearing and sit down the office that I'm accusing of being involved in. See, you got the public defender now. How was Napoleon represented at the hearing? By the Macon County Public Defender's Office. Y'all listen to me. I try not to curse, but please understand, I'm accusing the Macon County Public Defender's Office. I'm saying the plot just got thicker now. I'm robbed of my hearing because of the Macon County Public Defender's Office coming in the courtroom. See, I'm robbed of my hearing. I don't get my hearing. I don't get to show that I'm not a bad parent. I don't get to show that these people have lied. These people have distorted facts. Scott Reuter's ass ain't got no business in the courtroom. I don't get a chance to show none of that, y'all, because all of a sudden the judge saying that was done. I accuse his ass of being involved in it. See, I'm saying I should have never had to argue about no lawyer, y'all. The minute I said that the man was not my lawyer, that should have been all I had to say before the judge. You got a judge order me to sit down. Like, hold up, cracker, you done come in here talking about this, my lawyer. What the hell you mean, sit down? See, I sit up and try to give some respect to judges, y'all. To me, this ain't nothing but a redneck-ass cracker that's allowed to sit up and ignore 92 MR 28. I could show you in 92 MR 28, Scott Reuter violated Mildred Jones's rights. Scott Reuter put Mildred Jones in jail, and Scott Reuter caused the taking of Mildred Jones's baby. Now, here's a judge. All this judge got to do to know that there's some funny shit in this is read 92 MR 28. When the judge first got on the case, I asked him, well, you should have a document 92 MR 28 in your file. Have you read it? I read part of it. Now, you got a judge that's sitting up saying me and Mildred won't address the problems that led to the taking of our babies. 92 MR 28 is the problem that led to the taking of our baby. And I ought to be able to sit back and rest my goddamn case. See, when somebody say, okay, judge, how did Scott Reuter them ever get Mildred's babies in court? They put Mildred in jail. Okay, 92 MR 28 show you how they put her in jail. Mildred wasn't supposed to be in jail. Now, look like that would start an investigation. Before you go to considering whether or not you going to adopt her kids out, you wouldn't sit up and know goddamn well this all got started because of the prosecutor that's on the case violated the baby's mother's rights, put the baby's mother in jail, and the baby got sucked up in foster care. The mother never did anything to her baby. The judge got the proof. The judge got 92 MR 28 sitting up here. I read part of it. But he want to tell me and Mildred we won't address the problem that led to the taking of our baby. Let me proudly say it, you sick-ass cracker. 92 MR28, the document, the transcript of the hearing where Mildred Jones was put in jail by Scott Reuter. That's the problem that led to the taking of our baby. You couldn't have got our baby had they not done that. Now, y'all ought to catch the judge somewhere and ask him, is Napoleon said they couldn't have got our baby, y'all. They couldn't just knock on our door and say something was wrong with our baby. Wasn't nothing wrong with her. So they wrongfully put the mother in jail and jump up and say, well, the mother is in jail and we're concerned about the baby. They wasn't concerned about our baby. If you're concerned about somebody's baby, you don't violate their mother's rights and throw them in jail. Y'all want me to say that again? If you're concerned about somebody's baby, you don't violate the baby's mother's right and take the baby's mother away from the baby, then take the baby. Ain't nobody gonna do no shit like that, and then you gonna have people sitting around thinking they was actually concerned about the baby. That's what people done did in my kid's case for years. You got Napoleon saying, I'll show y'all how they took Mildred away from her baby. Mildred has never been accused of doing anything to her baby. What the fuck are they talking about adopting her kids out for? If Mildred has never been accused of doing anything to her baby, and Napoleon can show you how they wrongfully took her baby, what in the fuck are they talking about they gonna adopt her kids out for? And y'all ready to go march and sing, We Shall Overcome.
Davis gave Reeder a chance to respond, and Williams interrupted. Reeder became angry. Here's the quote, and I want you to read this in the paper today because, and then I'm going to tell you how this, sometimes quotes are taken out of context, or you don't know the inflection or the contonation of the, you just don't, how was it said? Was it said jokingly? Was it said rudely? Was it said, and I'm going to tell you exactly how it was said. Mr. Williams, I am talking, this is according to Scott Reeder, Assistant State's Attorney. Mr. Williams, I am talking, you shut up. That's what it says in the paper. He told Williams. This is the way it was said. Mr. Williams, I am talking, you shut up. Like that. A little taken aback yesterday as I'm watching the court proceedings. There are no cool heads in this case, ladies and gentlemen. I seem to remember the Statue of Justice there, holding the scales, having a blindfold on, and supposed to be cool, and I don't see any of that going on in this case at all. I talk to people daily, lawyers, elected people, citizens. I talked to two Macon County, or two sheriff's deputies down there yesterday before I went into the courtroom. And everybody that I talk to privately will agree to one thing. This has gone on way too long and needs to be solved. It needs to come to an end one way or another. Doesn't matter what side you take. You can take Mr. Williams' side, you can take the